Peacock brings us their first adult animated series. It is stop motion, and actually, there's a little bit of live action too. So it's a bit of a hybrid, and it's got some star power behind it as well. Being co-created by Mike Judge of course, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, and many other things over the years. Let's talk about In the Know. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the Peacock series In the Know. This is streaming now, all 6 episodes for this first season. It's another short first season. I hate when streamers do this because a show like this, I feel like you really need a little more time to let the ensemble kind of connect with the viewer, but all right, we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But before we get into the specifics of this show, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here on the channel, and just about every day, something new goes up. So there is always a lot to check out. With that in mind, please consider subscribing, click that like button, and of course, comment below. All that stuff does help the channel out. So look, I've been a fan of Mike Judge, obviously, from back in the Beavis and Butthead days, through all of his movies, Office Space, Idiocracy, Extract, and he's just... for me, never completely missed. Certainly things are more uneven maybe than others, but I don't think I've ever given a Mike Judge project a negative grade, and this definitely, sticks in line with that. But Mike Judge, although he is a co-creator and a co-producer with his old buddy Greg Daniels from King of the Hill, it is really Zach Woods, who you might know from The Office and a few other things along the way, because he and his partner, Brandon Gardner, are the other 2 co-creators, and they have directed and written all of these episodes as well. So they're really the ones, who are getting their hands dirty. And Zach Woods actually portrays the lead here, Lauren Kasbian. And this basically takes place at NPR. And it's interesting because they actually use the real, NPR name and everything. I think the logo is the same as well. So I assume they got permission to do that. When I first read the synopsis, I thought, okay, it's going to be sort of an NPR-esque place. But no, they're actually at NPR, and this Lauren character, odd name for a man, because it's not Lauren, Loren, it's Lauren, the same way you'd spell the female's name, but he apparently is the 3rd highest rated program on NPR called In the Know, and he's the host of that, and basically this show is a workplace comedy. It's got, all of these quirky individuals. And like I said, in just 6 episodes, unfortunately, I think we don't quite get to know them as much as we should. It's a shame. All of these comedies in this vein, kind of the workplace situation. And I said the same thing with the Netflix series Tires about a month ago. There's only 6 episodes of that, and that's a workplace comedy as well. I think it's really, really helpful to kind of get that full, 22 episode network vibe to really feel what these characters are all about. It's very hard to pack it in to just a few episodes. And so I do think this show struggles a little bit in that department, and hopefully we get another season to kind of take a look at that. But when you think about, like, okay, King of the Hill, had well over 200 episodes, over the course of its run. Even if this ran 10 years, you probably wouldn't get much past, 70, 80, maybe even 100 episodes if we're lucky. But such is the way of streaming now, and that's fine. But shows like this, I think, need to gestate a little bit more. But you also do have Mike Judge as one of the voices. Of course, he always tries to insert himself somewhere. But the hook here is not just the workplace aspect of it or the fact that it is stop motion, but there is a live action component as well, and it is for the most part improvised. So because Lauren is running this show In the Know, he is interviewing celebrities, and they portray themselves in these episodes, and they include Mike Tyson, Nicole Byer, Nora Jones, Finn Wolfhard. There's a whole host of people, Hugh Laurie, and so the interview portions are improv, and I had to look that up to make sure, because in the first episode there is an interview with Kaya Gerber, who I'm not really familiar with. I guess maybe I'd seen her, but she's a model, and her segments were just not quite as funny or seamless as the rest of the show. It seemed like she was maybe a little bit out of her element, and I thought, okay, sure, she's not an actress, but is this sort of improvised, and she's kind of struggling to either sort of be funny or whatever, and that was the case. And I can't fault her for that. You look at something like Your Enthusiasm, where they have these like master improvisers come into the show. Here, somebody like Finn Wolfhard, sure, he's a good actor in the stuff that he's in, he's a cute kid, whatever, but is he known for his improvisational comedy chops? No. So I think the show falters there a little bit, but it's certainly interesting to have that aspect of it and sort of break down that line between the real person and the stop motion people back in the NPR studio. That's definitely interesting because he conducts the interviews over Zoom, so the stuff at the interviewee's house is real, and then we go back to the studio and Lauren and crew are stop motion again. So look, this is like most Mike Judge things. It is definitely poking fun at a certain sect of individuals, and here we have sort of the the more snooty NPR type of person that listens, and also the employees, and the employees also kind of range though, because there's like an intern who's a college kid, so he's like a party animal, and then you have this very, very left-leaning woman who takes offense at just about anything being said. So there's some poking fun there, but honestly, I think this is actually kind of a loving tribute to NPR as well. A little bit like those old Molly Shannon and Anna Gasteyer sketches from SNL in the late 90s. I mean, yeah, they were sort of poking fun at the nature of the NPR interviewer, that sort of soft-spoken tone. But I think it was kind of lovingly so. And I think this is similar. Yeah, everything's a bit skewed, like it always is with Mike Judge. Office politics sort of got the once over with Office Space, of course, one of the classic comedy movies of the last 25 years. But here, it's definitely more of an ensemble comedy as opposed to a satire of sorts. But definitely there are things that he is lifting that mirror up to society with, like Mike Judge does very well. And Zach Woods, he's got a great voice for this character. You definitely believe that he is, a member of the NPR staff. And one thing I don't really love is when a show like this that is mostly steeped in reality goes completely off the rails and sort of gives us something that would never happen. Like these people are like swearing up a storm on the NPR airwaves. I worked in radio for a long time. I know, the FCC standards and all that. And it's like, it takes me right out of it every time. Like, people are swearing and getting drunk on the air and whatever, and nobody's saying anything. It's just normal. It's not like if they were on XM or something, I could see, okay, sure, they can get away with that. But if they're actually using the NPR name, that just wouldn't fly. That's a nitpick for me, I'm sure. But it I don't mind, in the office when they're saying things to each other. But when the microphone is on and they're like, oh, F this, and oh, you piece of S, whatever, it's like, all right, that clearly wouldn't fly if you're trying to steep this at all in reality. But look, this is a funny show. I wish we got more episodes and more time to kind of get to know these people. But for now, I believe In the Know with a B. And you can check out the first 6 episodes of this on Peacock. All right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time. Bye.